let's bring in Mick, Whelan, General Secretary of ASLEF. Hi, Mick. Always great to see you. Thanks for taking the time. What's going on?
Well, quite simply, Kay, we're still in the same position as the last time I spoke to you. Some of my members have gone 5 years without a pay deal. We're 18 months into strike action. And once we're on strike to promote our cause, and so the government hopefully at some point will come to the table.
I thought you'd been offered £65,000 for rail drivers and that the government were going to talk to you about it. Did that not happen?
No. As you know, we've had two deals that were done in bad faith. One, strange about the anniversary of it, where they put a deal out via the press that we had never seen and never negotiated, that we gave up every term and condition, every local agreement, and took a massive pay cut and gave up the right to negotiate in future, which we then rejected. We then went back to the table after that bad faith and spent a month doing a deal, taking the red lines out, which at the last minute they put the red lines in. And then after we'd left the room on their final offer, they changed the final offer overnight and told us by text, which we rejected. They know that we've got a process with them that we cannot put out deals that we reject or not recommended by our executive committee, and we haven't seen them since.
OK, so just to clarify, back in December, the Transport Secretary said an offer of £65,000 had been made if you were willing to get round the table. What happened to that?
Well, I would love him to offer my members £65,000. I've got members in many companies on far less than that, and the government's own figures say the average train driver's on less than that.
So that didn't happen?
No. What they did was put a deal out that we'd never seen, wanting to rip up every term and condition we had for a less than RPI pay cut. These people do not tell the truth. They dissemble on a daily basis, and maybe that's why they've been in hiding for the last 12 months.
OK. Would £65,000 a year be enough?
Well, that'd be down to the people that have to do it, and what depends what you have to do for it. What they were proposing was unacceptable.
I chatted to the Minister, actually, earlier. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, Mick, but just have a listen, because I did say to him, is £65,000 enough for train drivers?
Well, the unions, in my view, don't need to be on strike. They're impacting my constituents in North East Derbyshire right now who want to get to work, and they shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why they're striking. I wish they weren't. This is a very long-standing dispute. People just want to get on with getting to work, and the unions should just stop and call the strike on.
Is £65,000 enough for driving trains?
Yes.
So the Minister's saying, doesn't know why you're on strike, get back to work.
Well, I was at great pains when the one and only time I met him to explain what the problem was. And actually, we don't work for the government. I keep telling people we work for the privateers that they contract, who, as we all know, are making hundreds of millions of pounds, declaring massive dividends to their shareholders and boasting in their management meetings about the free money they're getting from the government. We also see the government criticising the executives in the rail industry for their high pay, yet the people who actually do the work haven't had a pay rise for half a decade. Maybe if the Minister will come and talk to us, he might understand why we're on strike.
Are you abiding, is ASLEF abiding by minimum service levels?
There are no minimum service levels. Quite simply, we responded to both consultations, the Department of Business and the Department of DfT. The government's own impact assessment said it would lead to more strife. The one company that tried to do it, we then responded with that more strife to have the same impact with our industrial action as we would have normally, and they withdrew. I mean, I think it's a stain on the character of this nation.
Just to clarify there, Mick, are you actually abiding by the minimum service levels, which is now a legal requirement, of course, of 40% of normal service during strike days?
It's up to the employers if they want to bring in minimum service levels. No employer has.
So you're not?
It's not for us to abide by anything. We have not been consulted on the introduction of minimum service levels. There is a process where they would have to consult with us. No one can tell us how to do it safely. One operator told me it would take 90% of staff to operate 40% of minimum services, and you don't have 90% available on a 3-shift, 7-day-week system currently.
Our understanding is that those 18 train operators, most of them are saying that if there was another series of strikes after these, that they would implement the minimum service levels legal requirement.
And if they do, and the consultant shows how it can be done safely, we would have to abide by that legislation. But it would have the commensurate knock-on effect of introducing further strife.
Good to talk to you, Mick Whelan. As always, thanks very much indeed for taking the time. Thanks.